points. Remember, we started with a market campaign, market tours, where Mr. Lanchamantin toured all the 16 major markets in the various regions. Beyond that, he did the meet and greet where he went on the various streets, met Ghanaians, discussed his views, policies, and how he intends to govern the country. After that, then we embarked on the caravan tour, which is moving around the various constituencies, not like what the two political parties have been doing. For instance, when you go to Ablekuma South, then you meet the people at a real question that is no. Instead, Mr. Lanchamanti will go visit a community or a constituency like Ablekuma South, go to Choco, go to the specific localities to interact with the people. And we are done with that, and we are doing what we call the community engagement itself, the village to village, the door to door. So in terms of campaigning, I don't see any of the aspirants or candidates, in my estimation, who has campaigned more than Mr. Alan Chimante. What appears to be the case is that the media landscape has been trying very hard to try to narrow the battle between two political parties. And I want to assure you that we have 2 days to election. After voting, when counting begins, that is where people have the shock of their lives. So we are doing very well, and we know we would make history.
Which regions do you expect to do very well in?
So definitely, and for a good reason, we will have a majority of votes from the Ashanti region. We will do extremely well in the Western and Central region. We will do very well in the Eastern region. We will do excessively well in the Upper East region. Ahafo region, we will do very well. Bono East will be a good region for us. And then the rest, Greater Accra, we will perform. We will do very well in Greater Accra, I must say. But the rest, we are still working hard to appreciate our votes.
Very interesting regions you've mentioned. You've gone with Ashanti region. What makes you confident you can do so well in the Ashanti region? Because we're just checking, even the NDC, with the whole campaign machinery behind it, the strength of the party has never been able to, even over the last 4 elections, cross the 30% mark. What makes movement for change different, that they wrestle this region from the New Patriotic Party?
So the Ashanti region of voting for the NDC has its own historical antecedent. You remember the PNDC days where market women were lashed in the full glare of the public. So anytime people remember that the NDC came from the PNDC, it denies them the vote. In our case, our leader, Mr. Alan Chomate, and most of us that are with the movement for change came from the MPP, and we are also from the region. So whatever advantage across the New Patriotic Party also across the movement, especially when the candidate is competent than the candidate that has been presented by the New Patriotic Party, especially when the candidate himself is also coming from the region. So these are the two distinct features or factors that are working against the New Patriotic Party's candidate. And added to that is the level or the kind of campaign that we have waged in the region since 1992. If you ask any typical MPP or Ashanti person living in Ashanti region, we dilly-dally with the truth. The truth of the matter is that we don't vote for an ordinary or a Muslim. Take it from me. And so that is what is playing out. And the party that did this campaigning since 1992 and told voters in the region that you didn't need to vote for anybody who was not an Akan, has presented someone who is not an Akan. So what do you think the verdict will be? This is what has pushed the New Patriotic Party to be expending all their resources in a region that they consider as their stronghold. Who spends more time in a stronghold? Senna, have you seen that before? That you consider a region as your stronghold, yet as it is, you seem to be expending more resources in a region that is supposed to be easy for you. It is because of the kind of campaign that has happened before and what the party is confronted with today, which is the personality that they settle as their candidate, which is opposite to the level, to the sort of campaign that they have waged in the past. And that is why Mr. Alanchamantin is then really going to win the region. I mean, the only thing left for the New Patriotic Party is to work hard and rig. But day in and day out, and by the minute, rigging is becoming a very difficult enterprise for anybody. And so, when voting ends and counting ends, I'm sure you would see, or you have a better appreciation of what I'm saying. This is it.
You're saying the NPP's biggest challenge is the kind of campaign it has waged over the years.
Absolutely, and that is what is eating them up. If you go and tell the people that as Christians you don't have to vote for a Muslim in the past from 1992, as Ashantis you are not supposed to vote for, or Akans you are not supposed to vote for people outside the regions, and you have used this to win elections over the years, and all of a sudden you change your dynamics without going back to erase the self-propaganda you have fed the people with, and you present a candidate that does not align with the levels of or the kind of propaganda you have fed the people with. How do you expect the people overnight to change? So clearly they are falling by their own sword, and that is what is playing out there. Beyond that, let's be frank, Mahmoud Bawumia is not a competent person. He has not what it takes to lead this country. And I wasn't surprised that Rose Monobin, his own former aide, recently came to say that it would be a catastrophic decision for the people of this country to settle on her former boss because he lacks the capacity to take or make any decisive decision. And so it's still clear that where we are as a country, the people are looking forward to a leader who would develop the region. 1 million, close to 1 million people have been pushed into the poverty threshold in the Ashanti region, spearheaded by Mr. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. So what makes him think? And indeed, about 4 or 5 months ago, when he went to the Ashanti region, specifically the regional capital, Kumasi, and met the business community, the business community were bold to tell him in the face that you have destroyed or collapsed our businesses. And so, what more is there for anybody to have any doubt that the region will not vote for the New Patriotic Party? Yes, you have some people definitely who are so much soaked into the idea of the NPP, but I can tell you that all in all, majority will not vote for the New Patriotic Party.
I see. Solomon, in 2016, you were in the New Patriotic Party. Dr. Bawumia was the whiz kid, the guy whose lectures and speeches drove the party into power. At the time, he seemed to have been the most competent mind you sold in that election to win the election. Since when did he become incompetent? Or you knew all this while?
The point is that you gave all the lectures. You said you could turn around things. The Ghanaian gave you the opportunity to lead and better the loss of the people. Now, every indicator you came to meet, you have worsened it. So it will only be someone who is not progressive that will still stick by such a candidate. Can you imagine in 2016 when we had an inflation of 15.4, an exchange rate of 1 to 4.2, what's the name? A gallon of diesel going for 14 cedis, and you promising that you are coming to better all these indices. Now, as we speak, inflation is 22%. A gallon of diesel is going for 65 cedis. Cedi to the dollar hovering around 16 cedis. You have worsened the situation, and on top of that, you see, you all accept that yes, there has been some. What's the name? Your COVID and your Ukraine, whatever. But as you speak, Can you point to any policy that has any potential of turning around the fortunes of this country? There is none. We are being told that the very policies that he himself even spearheaded, for instance, the e-levy, the betting tax, and so on, that are a product of IMF negotiations. He is saying that given the opportunity, he is going to remove all these taxes. The question is, what is preventing him from doing the very things that he's talking about today? Issues of corruption that we complain mostly in opposition. It's as though we are soaked with it. Look, yesterday he commissioned the e-gate. An e-gate that was supposed to cost $20 million has been ballooned to $240 million. What sort of greedy people are these? The entire airport, how much was it? How much did it cost for us to construct it? Yet we have been told that e-gate alone is costing us $240 million. And so I am not somebody, regardless whether or not I campaign for Dr. Bawumia, it will be an indictment on my conscience to knowing this today to still want to belong to such a party, especially when some of us fought with it that where things were going, it needed a turnaround. How many times did that guy come to your program to bash my own government when I was in the party? But there comes a time when people feel that because you belong to a political party, you are enslaved in that party, so they can do anything. Then you have to show them that you are also taken to school or you have been trained by people or parents that makes you think outside the box. And that is why you see us find ourselves outside the political party. So if today I'm not in there, if I supported Dr. Bawumia, but let me put it on record that I never believed in the microphone. That one I can say with all certainty.
You never believed in him?
I never believed in him, and it's public knowledge. I said the time with that number in 2007, 2010, 2016, that, and in fact, in 2016, the only time I endorsed his campaign was the last rally at was it trade fair or so. That I said he only got his nose right, and if he was going to behave within what he was promising the people, then that would be fine. Because you see, to my mind, if you don't drink Calipo and because of politics you go and drink Calipo, there is a problem. And it means you are trying to prepare the minds of the people that when you come, you send them. You get my point? Just like what we are being treated today, to where a parliamentary candidate, Lydia Alasan Seram, is openly distributing food. What is she preaching? I'm only bribing your conscience so that when I come, I can just recoup my investment. Such a candidate, you won't get me to vote for her, because right away, the intention of leading people in this country is not to better their laws, but to loot from them. And such people, you won't get me to support them. So you can say for the number of times that you want to, but the truth of the matter is that the NPP that started in 1992 is not what it is today. And like my flag bearer said, it's a declining party that has no breaks to end the downward trend, because principles have been thrown to the dog, and then everyone is doing everything that is there. But we are very focused as a movement for change. We are very happy with the decision that we made, and we believe that that decision will bear fruit come Saturday. Already our inside or exit polling that we did suggests that we had a substantial number of votes during the special voting, and we believe that the general populace would follow suit.
Mm. Let me conclude by asking you what the target of the movement for change is in this election.
By close of elections, President-elect will be Alan Chemantin. That is the only target we are aiming at. Nothing more, nothing less. After 32 years, this duopoly must go and park somewhere and give this country to a neutral person to bring all of us together so that we can develop this country once and for all.
You've been in existence for how long?
The movement for change?
Yes.
We inaugurated it on the 25th of September 2023, so a year old.
A year or so.
Yes.
And you seem to overthrow what you call a duopoly of two parties that have existed over 30 years.
These parties they are the reason we are suffering. I mean, Patrick Talon of Benin didn't need to even contest as an independent candidate for more than 6 months. We have Macron, who left his party and didn't need to spend more than a year to win an election. The point is that election is about the individual contestant. And you have a solid brand in Alan Chamanti, who is very known in Ghanaian politics, who has presented you with a solid plan. If these parties were performing to the best of their abilities and to the satisfaction of the Ghanaian, I'm not sure Allah would have been relevant in this equation. But you and I agree that their performances over the years, each of them comes to power, and the next time we see them, we are in IMF. They come to power, we enjoy doing so. They come to power, there is so much hardship, unemployment here and there. So what's the basis for still siding with these two political parties? And that is where our confidence lies.
Solomon OWUSU, thank you very much for speaking to us.
Thank you.
We wish you all the best. We wish you all the best as we go into this election. And of course, December 7th is not too far away. Nancy, the target is to get Alan elected as president. Realistic?
Oh no, but you have told you already that Alan will not.